Curtis Larson, Toronto FC, Columbus, second leg of the conference finals. What do you expect with this next game in terms of major storylines?
I think it's all about Toronto FC right now. First of all, the major storyline, of course, is Sebastian Giovinco and Josie Altidore coming back in after being suspended. And the pressure's all on them. I mean, these are the big-name players. These are the highest-paid players. TFC did a good job surviving that first leg to get to this point so that their big players could come back and make a difference. The other thing is you look at the New York game from a few weeks ago when TFC completely lost its composure, got caught up in the moment. Can they harness their emotions in front of what's going to be a sold-out crowd and a highly energetic crowd?
So after that first leg, the 0-0, who would you give the edge to heading into the second leg?
It's interesting because you talk to Columbus and they're just happy they didn't give away an away goal, which is the first tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So they're kind of happy with that. But then you talk to Toronto FC, Coach Greg Vanney, the day before the game, says that if you had given us one game at the beginning of the season, knowing that if we won at home, we'd get to the MLS Cup final, they'd take it. So I think you have to give the edge slightly to Toronto. Though if Columbus scores the first goal, then things are going to get a little hairy.
Who are the key players in this game? Who's going to need to have a big night for their team to win?
Well, we've talked about Toronto. Let's go to Columbus a little bit. I think you have to look in goal. Zach Steffen, he's a very young goalkeeper, but he's really the reason Columbus is here right now. He had a great game in the opening playoff game in Atlanta, stood on his head, and he's been good down the stretch. So you're going to have to come up with some big saves if you're Columbus because you're going to be under siege all night. And you also look ahead of him. Jonathan Mensah, the center back, and Josh Williams, the former TFC player, are two center backs who have had up and down seasons. They've been decent of late, but can they avoid making those crucial errors in a big game with TFC having such dangerous players?
Now, it's a TFC video. I have to ask you about BMO Field and the state of it. How's it looking going into Wednesday night's game?
Yeah, a lot of concern from TFC fans coming into this one, especially with the Argos playing a few weeks ago. You look back to last season, and there were some pitch issues because the Grey Cup was here, of course, and TFC played 3 days later, and the field wasn't up to standard. I actually just got a photo from Robert Heggie, the TFC groundsman.
Photo evidence.
Who sent me a photo, and the field looks fantastic, and he's saying that it's as good as it could probably be in November.
Okay, right on. Now predictions. Let's head down that stretch.
Listen, man, you have Josie Altidore fresh. You have Sebastian Giovinco fresh. You have them reading all the storylines all week, knowing that they're expected to come in and make a big difference. I expect a big performance from TFC. I think it might even be a 2 or 3 goal win, just given how they've performed at home in the playoffs in the past.
Well, let's face it, as the sports cliche goes, your best players have to be your best players in the key moments. For Curtis Larson and Post Media, I'm John Mattis.
See you out there.